Oh, I'm really laughing. All right, Rodney, how's it going?
Not too bad,
Welcome,
mate.
mate.
All good. Yep. How are
Brilliant.
you? You all good?
Yeah, yeah, mate. I'm not too bad. Look,
Yeah.
I have to bring it up. I like that T-shirt you're wearing.
I know. Thought I'd just, make the effort. You know. Yeah. Thanks for the t-shirt. So I thought it was the right time to wear it today. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, brilliant. Well, listen. Well, thanks for wearing it, and of course, you're welcome. You're brilliant, mate. You give me all your time and energy, and I love it. So, thanks
Oh,
very
no
much
worries. No
for
worries,
your
Steve.
support. You're the best, man. Brilliant. You're the
Thanks.
best.
All good, mate. Thanks, mate.
No, thank you. Look, I was going to call this the day we met Jackie Chan,
The day. Oh,
but then, but
well,
then I decided.
it chose one of the worst days of Kung, mate.
Well, I've changed the name now to
Yeah.
Never Meet Your Heroes with Stephen
Oh.
Rodney. You know what I mean?
Oh. Bloody hell. What a day. What a day on Tuesday, eh?
Madness, absolutely madness. Of course, we're chatting about the day that Jackie Chan came to London,
And no one
and
knew about it.
yeah, and let's face it, we did our best, and we got excited. We found out about this way too late, but
Way too late. Yeah.
yeah, but we want to have a chat about it, and we wanted to have a chat about it very close to the event and put this out as soon as possible because it literally has happened this week.
That's right.
And I know we've got a lot to say about it, and I bet that anybody who knows anything about it has got a lot to say about it. And there'll be a lot of people that probably don't know much about it that couldn't get down to it because no one could really make it
No
unless you're
one
into
really
Cobra
knew.
Kai and Karate Kid, of course. Then you could
Well,
make
that's
it.
right. Yeah, because they seem to know about it, didn't they? The actual Karate Kid fans, didn't they? Or Cobra Kai? Because that West End was it West End they were at in the middle of the day, Jackie?
Yeah, yeah,
That was
that's
packed,
right.
and they were wearing all the headbands and everything. So I'm thinking, how do they know?
Okay,
I
straight in
mean,
there. Love it.
we must be on the wrong WhatsApp group, mate.
Yeah, well,
What's
it's
going
true. It
on?
must be. But let's talk about let's discuss what we're actually talking about first, right? So we're talking about this Karate Kid Legends photo call. It's called, as you can see there, it's Tuesday the 20th of May. Leicester Square's it say there, carpet entrance at the southwest corner of Trafalgar Square.
Yeah,
So now we know where it is, we know the date, and we know the time. That's all well and good if we knew a couple of days in advance. But of course, I had no clue about this.
I
No
mean,
clue.
what time did that go out?
Well, I mean, it depends, right? I mean, what time did it go out? As far as I'm concerned, it didn't go out.
What?
I found out about it. I found out about it. It's true. It never did go out. 11:42 was when I found out about it. And as you can see there,
11:42.
yeah, 10:45 a.m. is the press check-in opens. What am I supposed to do?
But thing is, how comes no one in the Kung world knew about this? No one. I mean, it must have been either Cobra Kai fans or strays walking around in the West End, mate. Oh, what's that kerfuffle over there? Oh, Jackie Chan's over there. Let's go and say hello.
Do you? Yeah, okay, right. I was wondering about that, right? Oh, is it just because my bro said that for the original Karate Kid, he was just in the West End and went, "Oh, there's a red carpet event going over there. What is it? Hang on a minute, it's Karate Kid." So that
Yeah,
can happen.
it can
But
happen.
it can happen. But we'll go through some of the pictures and vids that Tarek took in a minute because
Yeah,
I agree with you. It looked pretty busy. So the first thing we're going to discuss, we can see there is such a thing there, right? But we're going to go
yeah.
back to this. This such a thing. This thing happened. This thing took place, and we didn't know. And the question we've got here is, as Rodney just stated, how comes Kung Mans never knew about this?
Not a clue.
Selways, the lot. You know what I mean? And we can imagine Selways be sitting there going, I never even knew about this event. Jackie Chan's in London. He's gone already. So
So I'm
you can
saying,
imagine.
the thing is, I was obviously still at work. So obviously, when I saw pictures of him in the West End, I was obviously panicking, mate. So obviously, my work ethic went out the window, didn't it? Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the day, it's gone, mate. Yeah. So obviously, I'm panicking, thinking, well, can I just really walk out of here? And if I walk out of here, I'm going to miss him anyway. So I just
This
felt,
is the thing, it's too late. I know you were panicking because my blower went. So,
Yeah, I rang you in work hours. Yeah,
see,
that's
yeah.
rare. Yeah.
Yeah, and listen, I love that because obviously, as you say, we were panicking, we were kind of excited, we wanted to get down there, and of course, what were we meant to do at that point? Now, I did try, is the truth, right? So Tarek
Yeah.
is the one that sort of told me he ain't the one where I got them images, but he did say Chan's in London. You said Chan's in London. Tarek started, he headed down there straight away, but this is a
Yeah.
media event, said it needed a wristband. Now, he has let me know. I did invite Tarek on to do this chat, but he's watching a film. I can't remember what it's called. He's gone to cinema to watch a Hong Kong horror. Can't remember what it's
Okay,
called.
fair enough. Yeah.
Right. So he can't do it, but he gave me a little bit of information to share with everyone, including me and you, about
Yeah.
how he found out about it. So this was a media event. You need a wristband and all that. So it's not really a fan event anyway. But yeah, it's on a big, massive red carpet in Leicester Square.
Yeah. It's out in the
Right.
public.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Right.
Jackie Chan,
So
Yeah.
yeah. He told a few people about it, but he said he found out because somebody that he knew, who ain't going to get named because we don't know him anyway, by the way.
Yeah, we don't
But
know him, yeah.
yeah, we don't know them, but they're not going to, we ain't going to name him anyway. He wasn't going to. So they said that they saw a picture of Chan in a Chinese newspaper saying that he was in London. So that was the first thing he knew. Someone told him that. So there was news, but a Chinese newspaper. So that's when he started to put the feelers out, message around people, and started
Bloody
to
hell,
get a
look at
little bit
that.
more info. Yeah.
There's some in the Chinese newspaper about London. That is crazy. That is crazy.
Even they can't make it.
That is mad. Exactly. That's crazy, isn't it? They knew. But no one here did. I
Yeah.
don't get it, mate.
No one.
I don't
So
get it. It's just weird.
yeah, I jumped on the train myself and I went, you know what? I'm going to try and do this. So I went and got a travel card. I jumped on the train. Look, it was late. I was keeping in touch with him. He was sending these pics and vids through. So I knew it was all happening when I was on the train. And
Yeah.
then he got in touch with me and told me, listen, they've left now. And so I got off the train and turned back. But I had my travel card and I thought, all right, but we
Yeah, you
have
never
another
know.
chance.
Yeah.
But before we get on to the other chance, which is what we did show up to, what is going on? You said you contacted a few people, you started putting this stuff on Facebook, and none of the Kung Mans knew, no?
Nobody. No one knew at all, mate. I think when the first picture, because obviously I told Rick, and obviously he was panicking, like what's happening there? He was like, obviously he's in the country now, mate. He couldn't get down anyway. You know what I mean?
He's far away now. Yeah, true.
He's too far away now. So obviously he was panicking. And obviously I sent him a picture that obviously Tariq sent me. I think he posted it. And obviously everyone went on there and go, hold up, what, Jackie's in the West End? What's happening there? So it was just panic. But the fact that no one knew. And the thing is, the real people wanted to know because I think a lot of those fans, mate, they were not proper Chan fans down there. I can tell you that. I don't think they
How
were.
dare you?
I think the majority down there that they were into Karate Kid, mate.
Yeah.
I saw a few headbands there going on.
All right. So we don't know if this is by design. This is a very confusing thing. And even if media people know about it, it's not that we know media people because we don't. But it just seemed really, really, as you would put it, stealth. It was just a little bit too stealth. This is unbelievable. How could you not know the day before even?
Yeah, but what I understand, if they're doing if it's stealth, then how comes he still walked out in the middle of the West End, mate?
Don't they want people to turn up to things? Promotion.
With a Karate Kid car. Yeah. Yeah, walked
I've got
out.
some stuff that Tariq supplied, and we'll have a look at it, right? To prove that this was arranged and it wasn't just a secret media event in a building. It ain't that. As it comes, there's a massive red carpet there and cars turning up and people playing drums.
Exactly. Drums, obviously it was properly arranged, but then no one knew about it. It's just whole thing don't make sense, mate. I tell you, it's just weird. Really weird.
Now, why don't they want real Kung there? I mean, what's going on here? What have we done wrong?
What have we done? What, are we
We're
too
day
passionate?
one.
Are we going to start doing claw in front of the camera? Are they afraid Jackie might have started doing claw as well? Started doing snake and drunken? Hey, what's happening here?
Definitely not. Definitely not. They ain't doing that stuff.
We got excluded, mate.
Now, do you have a
Yeah.
theory about this? About why it wasn't more public, if you know what I mean? Why they didn't let more people know, fans, or even Karate Kid? Look, we don't know because we don't. I don't know about you. I don't follow Karate Kid stuff, right? I'm not bothered. But people like Dre, you know what? I can imagine him still following because he's so Chan, right? I can imagine him being up to date with all the Karate Kid Legend stuff. I don't know. I didn't ask him, but my guess is that he probably does know about all the Karate Kid stuff. So do you reckon he's on all the forums and all the chats and all that with Karate Kid?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if Paul didn't know about this, then that's an issue anyway. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Paul's supposed to be telling us what's happening.
yeah.
Yeah.
He should know.
He should know.
Now it's
He's
funny
a Chan,
because according to your missus, you're the one should know.
yeah, he's a Chan Don, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, meant to be, not
Yeah.
anymore. You know what I mean? He's listen. I don't know what's going on, but what did your missus say about you? Didn't she say something? Didn't she say you were slacking or something?
She told me I was slacking because Jackie's in the West End and I'm in the office at work. And she said, "You're slacking." And I said, "I can't slack if I didn't know." Yeah. Now, if I got told and if I forgot, I would be slacking, wouldn't I? Yeah. I did not know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
well, she's saying,
if I knew that travel car would have been bought at 8 in the morning, I'd have been down there.
I know, I'm of course I'm with you, but you're supposed to know. That's the point she's making. She's like, well, you're meant to know.
Yeah. Yeah. But I told my sister, she said to me, "How'd you let that happen?" That's what she
You
said
really
to
need to
me.
get smashed up for
I'm
it.
getting the black. I was like, it's like it was my fault. I didn't know. No one knew.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I'm surprised he didn't know because I'm pretty sure that he's in the. I don't know that he's in the Karate Kid circles, but it would surprise me if he wasn't. You know, we don't
Yeah.
chat about or post anything to do with Karate Kid, but he still does. Do you know what I mean? It's released on this date and all that.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
I'm surprised he never knew.
I don't know. It's just this whole setup's just weird. It doesn't make sense, Steve, does it? The fact that we didn't know. No one on the forums knew. Paul didn't know. It's like, and when we did know, it was too late to see him obviously
Right.
properly. You know, what I mean, at that time of the day, we just couldn't get down there in time.
No, it's crazy. I
Yeah.
told Grant, you know, my cousin Grant, I told him he lives in Cornwall.
Oh, bloody hell.
He got a private jet. He said, I'm never going to be able to make it. I couldn't make it, and I can get to the West End quick, you know, pretty quick on a train. I couldn't make it.
I mean, obviously, I was at Gatwick, but I know that the time I get down there, he's probably going to be gone.
Yeah, well, that's what happened to me. Yeah, gone.
Yeah, from the photos and the videos that I saw, he wasn't going to be there that long. I mean, I don't know how long he was actually there for.
No,
Maybe half an hour, maybe. I don't know, 20 minutes, maybe.
Who knows?
You know?
Look,
but
we're trying to make sense of something here that we can't make sense of. So
no.
We'll move on to the next bit, which is to actually have a look at what we this event as much as we can, because Tariq did make it down there.
Yeah.
In the Dragons Forever t-shirt. He told me that it was hanging up all ironed. He looked at it and went, you know what? I'm going to try and make it down there. So he grabbed his Dragons Forever t-shirt. You know, obviously he'd be one of the rare ones in there with a t-shirt like that.
Yeah, that's right.
It's all Cobra Kai
Yeah.
business going on.
He might have been the only Jackie fan there, mate.
He might have been, but it's kind of fair enough, right? Because Macchio was there, you know, Ralph Macchio, Ben Wang. You know, it is a Karate Kid thing.
Yeah.
So it does make sense, but Chan's in it.
Yeah, I know. He's still the big name, man. Just Jackie Chan we're chatting about here.
It's crazy, isn't it?
And I don't know, mate.
No,
It's actually a wind up, to be honest, mate. It's actually a wind up, to be honest.
it is a wind up. If you think this is a wind up, I mean, it's actually going to get worse, right? But for now, it's going to get worse. But for now, let's have a look at the stuff that we do have. Which Tariq, thank you for sharing this with us. I asked him, are you okay with us sharing this stuff? And he said, of course. So let's just have a look at what we do have. And this is shot by Tariq the Kung Fu Kid on Instagram. If you want to get in touch with him and ask him what happened, there you go.
Yeah, but look how many people are there.
Look how massive that red carpet is.
I know.
I don't know how much they paid these drum blokes. Just so you know, right? Because Just he's playing these drums for ages.
Yeah, he was.
Happening.
No, the thing is, but he had a better chance to get a picture than we did, mate. Yeah,
Drum bloke. It's
he
true.
got closer to Jackie than we did.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
So they're not even here yet. And like you say, if you look in the background there, as you say, there's people up there. There's
there's a
people
lot
here.
of people. So, thing is, what's weird? It was so not promoted, but look how many people there are.
Exactly. I've turned the volume down because you're doing chats. But yeah, exactly. Look.
It's busy.
They know what's
mate.
going. If it's just for media, right? And it's a photo call for media. What's with the drum blokes? What's that?
Yeah.
What's that for then?
Well,
Who's that for?
guy,
So drum blokes is for a media bloke, is it? Flip off.
well,
No way.
well, he's definitely working for his money, mate. Look, he's at it, isn't he?
The brilliant thing is, Tarek's filming this going, what's happening? It's just drum bits.
Yeah, I know. Well, but if he's putting in panic mode, wasn't he? So
Yeah, of course.
yeah, panic mode. I'd probably jumped over there, mate. To be honest.
In hindsight, you would, because you don't know what's going to happen. But
It don't happen, yeah. Easy though.
yeah, drum bloke. I had to keep this on because it just made me go, look, they really have arranged it. Look, there's headbands. Look at these headbands.
That's
These
what I'm
people in
saying.
front of him got their Karate Kid headbands on, right?
So they knew then.
Yeah,
How did they know
it's
we
up
didn't?
now.
Oh,
Yeah,
there we go.
things happening.
Entries. You hear the cheering.
Let's turn it up. Oh, yes, I can. Right, let's turn it up.
There we go. You hear the glee?
Now, there you go. I never noticed that, but you said a minute ago it was a Karate Kid car. And when I saw these vids, because I didn't really watch them that closely, because these ones he sent me afterwards, and of course I just got them together for us now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a Karate Kid car. That's
It's
real.
Karate Kid
There
car.
is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
At this moment in time, Rodney's at work. I heard him shredding stuff.
I'm at work,
shredding
mate.
paperwork and printing stuff. I could hear it on the blower.
Yeah. I'm at work shadowboxing in hate. Yeah. Well, these guys there are actually there in real time in full glee mode, mate. What a wind up.
You know what it is? We are gonna keep this. It's really frustrating. We're laughing, but we've had time to calm down. You know what I mean?
I'm laughing through the pain, mate. That's what I do. Bit of joy. That's great.
Fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
There he is. He's quite near, isn't he, really? He ain't that far away.
Yeah, he's yeah.
Having a wristband, yeah.
Because there you go. There's another thing. You just mentioned wristbands. I've paused it there because I can see these wristbands.
Yeah, but how comes Tariq? Well, he's quite near them, isn't he?
He is with no wristband, as you say. And if it's press, what? So we're saying that these people here in front of him with Karate Kid headbands and wristbands, what their press are they? Flip off. This is practice. This is bad.
Yeah, how comes he? So he ain't got a wristband, but they have. But he's quite near them. That makes sense.
Well, it's made no difference. You don't need. Okay, so what we're saying is you don't need a wristband then, because you don't.
No, you don't. He's just walked in there, isn't he? So, but he's actually quite near. Yeah. There we go. But look at the people there.
Yeah. Right. Big banners, Karate Kid Legends, banners. drum bloke's right next to him.
Yeah. We got a photo, mate.
That's cool, man. Let me get Karate Kid.
Headbands.
Karate Kid.
Headbands. Look at that. So, but they knew.
Yeah, it's Machio coming around. Look, there he is.
There he is. Quite close, isn't it? A lot of Ralph shouting going on.
Yep. Signing stuff.
So look, so that's Ralph fans there. But they knew.
And now there's a kid there. Someone's shouting, Jackie, Jackie. Getting the Chan stuff now. It's coming round.
How do they know? We didn't know. We're in the wrong WhatsApp group, Steve. I tell you.
Definitely.
Hold up.
Yeah, exactly. Look at that stuff he's got there. What's that? Drunken Master, isn't it? Oh no, sorry. It's
no, it's not, is it? No.
Nah, Karate Kid Legends. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I mean, to be fair, you can't have Machio signing Drunken Master, can you? So.
Yeah, that could get quite confusing, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here he comes. On headband.
He is.
Jackie! You had one.
One line only, guys. That's it.
I'm gonna go with the Kenny thing. No?
He's
Try that one for me, please. Try that one for Jackie. Try that one for Jackie, please. Thank you. Just literally just asking. Just try that one for Jackie.
Jackie!
So, I guess what I've got to say to that is thanks very much, Tariq, for providing that footage, and good man for getting down there in time.
Yeah, he done well to get there.
Yeah, like we said, right, one confirmed representing. We like that. But bit of a wind up, that, isn't it?
You know, the longer it was going on, the more I was getting a bit off. Come on. Come on. A lot of people there seem to know this was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not nice to see that. I mean, it is nice to see it, but, you know, it's not like that was in Germany or China or something. We're talking about it's in Leicester Square.
Yeah.
This just feels wrong for me. It's just, you know what? I'll tell you what it is. It's not fair. How about that? There you go. I'm going to be a big baby about it. It ain't fair.
Yeah. You know what? The Chan fans, we're in pain at the moment. I'll tell you that now. Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
We're in pain, mate. Yeah. We're in
pain. Listen, this is just crap, right? Nice to see and everything, but
yeah. No.
Anyway, it gets worse.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously there was intel went out that he was obviously going to be on the One show.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
So obviously I'm there panicking again, thinking, well, I could obviously try and get down there, couldn't I? But
at
obviously,
work, shredding documents.
Obviously, I'm at work still, and obviously I'm panicking. Obviously, did I ring you again? Didn't I? Did I message Tariq?
I think I rang you this time.
I think you rang me. Obviously, I messaged you to Tariq, and he's obviously given me where the studio was.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, obviously we got to try, ain't we?
Well,
we have to try.
You have to, because you don't know. This is the thing. This one, This one we had no choice. It was kind of like, well, what are we supposed to do? We can't make it there in time.
Yeah,
But this second chance, we're talking about maybe we're at 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon,
yeah,
and this ain't until I don't know, half 5, 6. I
6.
think
Yeah,
half 6 till maybe he's going to get there around half 6, and I think the one show interview starts at 7, and it's for half hour. So this one we've got time. We can do it,
yeah.
and if we don't, then we're going to sit there and go, "Oh, you give it all the chat you like. You can complain all you like, but when you got the opportunity, you
Opportunity
didn't
was there.
try."
That's right. So obviously, hopefully, HR is not watching this. So obviously, I did a bit of stealth to get there on time. Yeah, and I'll leave it as that.
I remember that a message came through, something like, "F it, I'm gonna try." And well, brilliant. And I read that and went, you know what? Brilliant,
Mm.
brilliant. You know,
And
I rung my
yeah,
bro,
obviously,
but
yeah,
he's way too far away.
yeah.
But you know, at this
And
moment in time, you've left work early,
yeah, because
and
obviously,
Dre's on his way
I
down.
told my work colleagues, and they understood. They're like,
Yeah,
well, you have to try, don't you? Because they knew. Because obviously, don't forget, they're watching me panicking now, aren't they? Like, obviously
sweats.
panicking that he was there. They can see me, like, obviously folding at work. And then obviously when they heard that I got opportunity to try again, they were like, "You got to go, ain't you?" So yeah, so I left a little bit
Wicked.
early. I made up the hours next day, but anyway, I left a little bit early.
Yeah,
Yeah, obviously we got
and
to obviously Oxford. Yeah, so I got to Oxford
and Dre was
Circus.
on his way down in the car. Now,
He
no
was on
one
his way
knows
in the
where Dre
car.
lives, right? Because he's got the loft, so no one knows where he lives.
Yeah, the stealth loft. Yeah,
But it's a while away, and we're talking about driving to London is a bad idea. And I mean, he drove to London. This is in central London. What is it? 5-minute walks from Oxford Circus.
that's what I'm
This
saying.
BBC studios. So
Yeah,
that's what we're talking about. Central London here.
yeah. But the mad thing is, think about it. He's driving in panic and
Yeah, not a good
excitement
idea.
and hope. Yeah, I mean, bloody obviously we were going through, but obviously what was he going through, mate? You know, he must have been panicking, mate.
I reckon he was more annoyed that he was out the loop and didn't know.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. Yeah. He just got in the car and just drove, mate.
Brilliant.
Oh God, I hope he didn't
So
go for any
he's
red
on his
lights, mate.
way.
Yeah, he's on his way. Yeah,
We obviously get on the train and get down to the one show, which is, I don't know where it is, BBC House or something, some
yeah.
BBC studios,
Somewhere
because
there, Oxford Circus. Yeah, near
that's
there.
right. We
Yeah,
get wind of it. And this was our next chance. Yeah, look, it's so obvious by now, just through hearing us chat, that it didn't go well, right? So we've not done a good job of hiding it, but this is to tell the story of what happened. That's what this is
yeah.
for.
That's what it's for. Yeah, because obviously we get down there, then we see a few people like hanging around, and then obviously I don't know. Did you look at someone? Or did you have a headband on, or because
Well,
you go? Are
first
they
bloke I saw,
yeah? Are they hung over there? You said. Are those guys hung over there? Yeah.
found
And
out they
obviously,
weren't.
yeah, they obviously went into the coffee shop, didn't we? And then we
Yeah,
saw two guys in there,
yeah.
and then one of them said, obviously, he's here to meet Chan
Mm.
or whatever. So obviously, we're sitting down. Obviously, I had to get a coffee and that, and Tweak had to charge his phone. And obviously, he's panicking because he was low on power, wasn't he?
Power and
You know,
storage. Yeah, it was all
that's on
going
storage.
mad.
Yeah, yeah, because you can't be near Jackie Chan with 30%, can you? That's not
They
good.
can't do it.
No, that's
Can't do
risky,
it.
isn't it? No,
Can't do it.
no.
But the
So
very
obviously,
first bit of intel I got once I got there was a bloke before you go in the entrance with the security guards. Even that we didn't know we were allowed in there. Down the side alley, there was a bloke with a lanyard, BBC lanyard on, and he was packing away all these cameras and stuff.
yeah,
So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go and have a chat with him before you two got there. So I went round to this bloke and I said, "Excuse me, sorry to disturb you, but listen, I just want a little bit. If you got a bit of knowledge about where famous people turn up, what entrance, where I can go,
yeah.
because." There's someone coming and I really want to see him. I mean, the thing is, I was panicking, isn't it? Right?
You're
I
panicking.
don't
Of
do
course you are.
panicking, but yeah, it was. It was a bit. I was trying to confide in this bloke. You know what? He was one of the nicest blokes ever because he totally got it. He said, "Look, I do work here." He said, "But there's lots of different ways they can come in, so I
Oh,
don't
right.
really know." said, well, what I can tell you is that I do know that most fans go and sit in Cafe Nero, which is opposite where it's filmed.
It's filmed,
And
yeah.
yeah, so you can look through the window and people can see the people being interviewed. He said, but other than that, I can't really help you. And I said, well, look, I appreciate that. It's really nice of you. Thanks, for trying to help. And I just had to let him know. I mean, he could see the stress. I said to him, look, I said, this is what I said to him. I said, you got to understand, this is important. I said, there's not many people that can do this to me.
Yeah.
There's a
Not
few,
many.
right? There's not
many.
Right?
There's not many that can make me leave work early and buy a travel car for 24 quid. Yeah, tell you that now, man. Not many man can do that. I'm telling you now. Yeah,
there you go. Right. That's what makes this even worse. So I said to this bloke, if you can help me, I'd really appreciate it, because I don't feel like I've got many chances for this to happen, and I really feel like it needs to happen. I'm an older bloke. It's been right from a kid. I can't help that he's had this impact on my life, but he has.
Yeah.
He's here.
We're watching these bits most of our lives, haven't we? So
yeah. I said, the words I said to him was, I need this.
That's excellent.
But the thing is, he knew. I'm telling you now, he knew. He picked up on the energy.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right.
He saw that passion, mate. Yeah, he saw it. Yeah.
Right. Then he said to me, listen, I don't know much about Jackie Chan. He said, would you mind giving me a rundown? What can you tell me about him?
Really?
No joke, right? It was so strange.
That is excellent.
I went, yeah.
Well, where did you start with that?
Oh, yeah, it's strange, right? I said, well, he's this, he's that. He started, he's a Peking opera school. I said, like a Chinese version of a clown school. That's where he learned all his everything. I said, singing, dancing, performing, martial arts, tumbling, and all that. You learn all that stuff, and then that gets you into the film industry. And I told him that Snake in the Eagles. I told him Low Way. I mean, I went mad with it,
Yeah.
I told him everything. Then he got. He got loaned to another director, and that broke him through. But that was in Asia. It weren't until this time. I went mad with it. Yeah, and he loved it. He said, "This is brilliant. I can't believe thanks very much for that." He said, "I've actually seen a Jackie Chan film."
Which one was it?
My son was watching one the other day. He said, and he said, "I don't remember what it was called though, but it was set in London." And so I said, "Maybe The Foreigner."
Maybe The Foreigner, yeah.
I said, with Pierce Brosnan, and he said yes. So
there you go. Well, good film.
We got there.
Yeah.
But this guy, respects to this bloke. I wasn't in a room, but the phrase is he read the room.
Yeah.
And he did his best to.
He understood.
I did my. You know what I did? I did my best to stay calm and not be too much of a fanboy and go, excuse me, oh my god, like I didn't want to, because we was just standing with them in the queue, right? So we know these types. I didn't want to be that type, but I let him know, because I'm mature and adult. I let him know in an adult way, if you can help me, I deserve to be helped. So please help me. He did his best, and I told him he was a lovely fella. I said, thank you very much. I said, you've done everything you could. You listened, you understood what was going on, and you didn't just tell me to get lost. So I don't know his name. I don't know who he was, but you know what? He was a nice bloke. And not everyone's like that. Oh, leave me alone, get lost or whatever.
Oh,
wasn't like
that. Yeah. The thing is, didn't we miss them going in the building, didn't we?
Well, I mean,
did you leave? You went up before us, didn't you?
No, I didn't see that, but I have got some vids of cars. So it's easy for us to explain, because I've got some vids to show people what was going on there. So then Rodney and Tariq turned up just as I was saying bye to this fella. And when you get to this BBC, there's high-vis blokes standing there with barriers, and it does feel like you're not allowed in.
Yeah, they're a bit tense, weren't they? One or two of them were a bit tense, weren't they?
Definitely, yeah.
Well, it's probably because we were panicking, weren't we? So yeah.
And they knew Chan was coming. They were panicking as well.
That's what they were. Everyone was in panic mode. Seriously.
So one guy said to us, can I help you guys? And we said, yeah, we're looking for Cafe Nero. And he said, oh, it's just there. And that made us think we were allowed in, but we still didn't know we were allowed in.
Yeah.
So we did a fake chat. And I was like, where did he say who's going to meet us, Tariq, in Cafe Nero, right? And Tariq's like, that's
Yeah.
right, in Cafe Nero. So we just walked through, chatted. We're just going Cafe Nero, mate. You know,
Yeah.
little did we know we were allowed to walk in there.
We were allowed to go, but it didn't feel like, did it, from the start, did it? It didn't feel like, can we go here? Can we go down there? All these high-vis guys about, but, you know, he said it was all right, so, yeah.
Yeah,
And
it was all right. So we
yeah.
got in there, and Cafe Nero, and as Rodney said earlier, there were 2 people in there. And now they did say he was there for Chan, because that seemed to be the main question. I go, you know, why are you here? You know, Chan, Ralph, what's happening? And he said, no, Chan. Then we got chatting a bit more, and it was like, oh, it's not the only one. You know, Ralph Macchio's coming, and he got well excited. And I said, I thought you were here for Chan. He got well excited when he found out Ralph was there, but bloody hell. So, he was a nice fella, though.
The nice guy, yeah. He was quite chatty, wasn't he? Yeah, he was all right. Yeah.
The other bloke was a bit more reserved.
Yeah, he's a bit standoffish, wasn't he? Because didn't you say to him, "Well, you're real Chans," didn't he? But I don't think he liked that when you said it. He didn't, did he?
I just need to know who I'm dealing with here.
Yeah,
it's
said,
okay if you're not real Chan.
And he kind of just looked at you, didn't he? I don't know. Yeah, he was a bit tense, that guy. But
Yeah,
he knew the other guy, didn't he? I'm sure he knew him, didn't he?
Well, what I gathered from this, because we don't show up to these things. These aren't events that the sort of things we show up to. And it turns out that we weren't really even meant to be there, right? Because we didn't meant to know about
we just chanced it. I mean, this is. I mean, wasn't really an event, was it? We just chanced it. He was just doing an interview, and we just chanced it. Yeah,
exactly right. But these guys, they're like dweeb, geeky type people, and we all are in our own way. That is not. I'm not saying that disrespectful, but they're reserved, quiet. I don't know, awkward, bit socially awkward.
They're quite awkward. Yeah. Because there was a few later on. Obviously, when we actually went to the studio part, and then they got the railings out. I had a chat with a few of them. And
that's right.
Some were quite socially awkward. Yeah, I did notice that.
That's it. This is what they do. They go to these events and they get signatures of people and all that, and they know about the events and the wristbands and all this stuff. And we were. Yeah, we ain't no fish out of water anywhere. You know, we can get on with anyone, right? You know,
that's what I mean. Yeah,
we're grown ups.
Yeah, but so obviously, then we started asking them, obviously, what's your favourite Chans? And that's when certain, then obviously I could tell these blokes are, I think they were really Karate Kid fans, but they were like Jackie fans for the day because he was here. That's the impression I got.
Well, yeah, right. Okay,
that's kind of, yeah.
So we've got in these barriers, and there is a bit round the side, and I've got vids here that should help us out, right? So this is just to show, just to the side of the bit where the people are supposed to come out and do selfies with you and sign stuff. There's a car park, and this is all you get to see. You can stand there and watch it.
Don't think it's that one.
And it's just cars.
Is that people getting out?
Right? Basically, with blacked out windows.
So
you don't know who's in them.
You don't know.
And again, now looking back at it, so if you look at this, look, just a car, another car. There you go. Mostly these big, massive ones, all blacked out windows. You don't know who's in it. You don't know if they've left. You just don't know what's going on.
We just didn't know. We were just hoping they were still there. But
hoping they were still there.
Yeah, that's all we had.
Windows, not even window. Can't even open a window and wave. You know what I mean?
No. Just hope they were still there. Yeah.
Exactly. Hope they were still there. So let's just give you some more shots of what's going on. Let's play this one. So let's have a look. Hang on. Right. So there we go. Let's quickly start off with. We know Chan was there. There's evidence.
That's him there.
Tariq took that picture and sent it over. I like this photograph that he captured.
Yeah.
That's actually a proper professional photographer photograph. You know what? That really does capture the moment. I love that.
That's a really good picture, actually. It's a good picture.
Yeah, it's wicked, man.
Yeah, if it was quite natural.
But it's all about the headbands and the Cobra Kais, isn't it? Look.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Their forum's quite active because they're there on time. Yeah.
There's the boys. So this is us now, right? So we're here and we're at the barrier bit and we're just waiting. And that's quite a long time because what time do we get there? 5:30 or something? I don't know. Quite early.
5:30 or maybe I think it was 5:15 or 5:30. Yeah.
All right.
So we're waiting a long time.
There's a couple of blokes there on the right of the types that are in the crowd with us. You see him there,
Oh,
Rodney?
the bloke on the right was the guy in the pub, wasn't it? The 10th one. That's him on the right, isn't it? In the red top on.
The
was him,
red
wasn't
top
it?
bloke is he's one of the first
Yeah.
blokes that we saw that we asked,
Yeah.
"Are you here for Chan?" Because they're in the Cafe Nero as well. So we walked in there. "Are you here for
Yeah.
Chan? We want to make sure we're in the right place." All that kind of stuff, right? So got that shot there. Now I took that by purpose because that's Dre there,
Yeah.
who didn't get there till later because he was driving down. And
Yeah, he
just a
got
bit
it
of
quite
info.
late.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he told me. I mean, he didn't miss it, but he told me. I said, "How do you park in London? I mean, there's nowhere to park." He said they had to like pay and arrange a reserved spot somewhere.
Really?
Right. Yeah.
That was Jackie Panic fee, mate. That's what he paid.
We think we're bad with our travel cards. I think someone got done worse.
Oh, big time. Especially London.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, that weren't cheap, mate. No way.
So you can see behind these barriers here. This is not the barriers where you meet people. This is a barrier. Just so behind us here, not behind us. So in front of us here, we're now looking at Cafe Nero, just so people know. You come out of Cafe Nero, you just walk straight across, and you can see that's the one show studio.
Where they interviewed, yeah.
And that's the sort of shot you get. That's Chan
So
sitting down.
That's Chan, so that's the best we got, right?
And at this time, I went round to that bit because Rodney and Tariq are still waiting round by that car park with the barriers there, waiting for people to come out. We've obviously can ring each other. And I said, I'm going to go round and see if I can see him being interviewed, which I could. And there was a few people around there doing that. Not many, but this is what I'm saying. That's it. That's the kind of shot you can get. So it's all well and good going, well, if you stand there, fans, you can just look and see him getting interviewed. I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah.
No, it's a bit,
Yeah. There's now, this is important, right? Because that, you can see Rodney there on the left, Tariq's there. I stood back to take a picture of the so-called queue, the fans that have showed up.
That's quite a good shot.
On top of this number here, you might be able to add, say, 10. There's a few people round at that bit I just showed with the one show there, milling around. But really, this is all the three stars, if you like, Chan, Machio, and Ben Wang had to deal with. They did not have hundreds of people.
No, it wasn't. Thing is,
30.
what time did you take that picture there? Do you remember what time you took that picture?
I mean, it was pretty early on. It didn't get busier though, did it? It didn't really get busier.
Yeah, I think some more people turned up on the right side of that picture, but it wasn't that many people there. There wasn't like 40 people there, I don't think. Maybe 35 or the most, maybe.
That's the key thing here. It was not busy. That is not a lot of people for them to deal with, which just makes it all the worse, right?
Worse, yeah. It wasn't out of control, was it? Really, it wasn't.
No.
There
you go. There's another angle, right? So you can see there's some people not against the barriers. But there you go. All right. Well, that's it. That's mates, isn't it? Right. That's afterwards crying, trying to make the best of it.
That's it. Yeah, bedroom business. Yeah.
That's it. That's it, mate. That's it. You got it. So look, before we get on to, I mean, you can see Chan has turned up. So we know blacked out windows or not, we know they're in the building.
They're in the building.
Around the other side. He's in there. It's a live show, so we know it's getting filmed and it's getting broadcasted. So we know that. But for now, we've got to wait until all this happens. So he's got to turn up, get his makeup done and whatnot. Then he's got to do the actual show. So we're outside, and we're mingling.
Yeah.
We're mingling.
So we're mingling, having little chats, you know. You, Jackie, are you more Karate Kid? And then obviously one bloke we're talking to, we asked him, what's your favourite Chans? And then what did he say? What was it? Spy Next Door and Rush Hour.
Wait. Oh, all right. Wait. I made notes because I had to try and remember. So the first bloke I spoke to was a bloke in some Ronnie Barkers, so some glasses. Lovely bloke, by the way. And,
Yeah,
and genuinely now, I spoke to him a number of times, you know, and he was different to the others. What I mean by that is he wasn't socially awkward and he was friendly, right? So if I
yeah.
went and chatted to him, how's it going? He'd just answer normally. Yeah, man, it's all right. How you doing? He was normal bloke.
Yeah,
Okay, that was nasty. They're all normal, but
yeah. I know.
you know
There's
what I'm
level.
saying, right?
There's levels here. Yeah.
So yeah, right. So I say to him, what's happening? How's what you here for? And they'll tell me Chan, Machio,
Yeah.
all of them. You know, that's what they say. I
Mm.
say, what's your favorite Chan films then? This guy said, this was the bloke, Rush Hour, Around the World in 80 Days, right?
Okay.
The Spy Next Door,
Oh dear.
and this one though, Kung Fu Panda. It's cartoon. Not even got. I mean, he's in it. His voice.
Wow. Kung Fu Panda.
What?
Bloody hell. Really?
Think of how many films. I don't know how many credits he's got, but it'd be over 100. And he went, and when he thought of that one, because at one point he went, my mind's gone blank. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, and of course, Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, but thing is, I hoped he made a mistake and he meant Panda Plan.
It still would have got the same reaction.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to help him out here. Yeah, I'm trying to defend him.
Oh.
Panda. See, I've got the impression there's no Shannon Woodenman guys here apart from us. That's the impression I got. Yeah. There's no Snake and Crane chat here. There's no Dragon Fist. That's the impression I got. Yeah.
I mean, Spy Next Door.
I mean, that is. I've never heard anyone say like that film. I've never heard anyone really admit that they're gonna watch it again. I mean, oh dear.
You know what though?
Oh.
He's younger, and I told you I liked this guy. I actually liked the bloke, right? I thought he was good.
Mm.
And he offered this stuff up. You know, he could have gone, no, I'm not bothering to chat to you. He was really nice, right? And here's what he said at the end of his list of films. And respect for this. He said, childhood memories.
Well, that's fair enough, isn't it?
That's it.
Because obviously Chan's got different fans, isn't he? He's got the fans for obviously Women Men. Then obviously you've got the whole next generation after Rumble.
Yeah.
You obviously got generation after the Rush Hour. So he's got different 3 generations, isn't he, of fans, isn't he? So yeah, I understand that.
So,
I mean, I'm not gonna mock these guys, you know, because they're younger guys, isn't it? So
hang on, there's more to come, so we'll see about that. But anyway, this guy, I ain't mocking him because he was a nice, friendly bloke, and the childhood memories. I went, well, that's it. That's what it is for all of us.
yeah,
So
makes sense.
wicked, right? You know, and I told him I like Around the World in 80 Days and all that, and I get why people like Rush Hour. It is good.
Yeah.
But then he was good, right? So I weren't just me doing the chats. It normally is. He was good. He said to me, what film would you say made him famous? That's what he asked.
Oh.
And I said, 2 different films. You know, Snake and Eagle's Shadow, if you want to say that he's Asian famous.
Yeah.
And then if you want to say what film made him famous in the West, I'd say Rumble in the Bronx.
The Bronx, yeah.
Got his blower out and said, can you repeat the name of the film? I said, yeah, Rumble in the Bronx. Typed it in, turned the phone to me and went, is this the film? I said, yeah, that's the film. He said, never even heard of it.
That's mad, isn't it?
Well, it is, but
so he likes Chan, but then he couldn't go on IMDb or Google his. Okay. Now they've got all the info. Yeah, but they've got all the info to find stuff out here, haven't they? Yeah, but what he can. So he never heard of it, but he still left his house to meet Chan. Okay.
I learned a lot about these people. I had time to talk to them, and I ended up learning a lot about them. And I will get to why they are there. These blokes.
Yeah.
Now I spoke to another bloke. There was a point when there is I will get to him, but I'm saving him for last. There is a reason that I walked away from the area that me, Rodney, and Tarek were at. It was another bloke that got on my nerves.
Oh yeah,
I ended up walking.
Yeah,
he's
coming.
He's coming.
Yeah.
But I also thought, let me see if there's any better spots by the barriers, you know, down the barriers. And I found one that was pretty empty. And I went, well, I could just stand there. And I told the guys, look, I'll wait here for a bit. If he comes out over here, you know to come over here. If he comes out
That's
over there,
right.
I'll come back down to
Yeah.
you, right? That's what we do, right? So I went in this spot and I was next to the bloke who came with his mum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I said to him, "Why are you here then?" And he said, "Well, Jackie Chan."
Straight in. Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up watching Jackie Chan. And I said, "Do you mind asking who that is with you?" He brought a lady in a wheelchair with him, right? And he said, "Yes, my mum." And I said, "Did you watch the Chans with your mum?" And he went, "Oh yeah, of course. You know, we grew up going to the vid shops, renting them out, and watching them with my mum." Yeah, again, I love that one.
That's good. I like that. He actually brought his mum out. That's brilliant.
Now, are we going to get, considering what he said, what's your favourite Chan then? Are we going to get Spy Next Doors, Rush Hours? What are we going to get? Kung Fu Pandas?
Well, I hope not.
Well, it's an improvement. Armor of God.
Okay, it's a start. That's fair enough. Generation after, yeah. Okay, that's good. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
So I took that, but he was good. He was nice, friendly, you know, chatting to him loads or whatever. So he was all right. So there you go. That's another bloke. Moving on to the next bloke I spoke to. I said, "Well, why are you here?"
Yeah.
Jackie Chan. And this guy, by the way, this was at the end when we were pretty sure Chan had left.
Left, yeah.
This guy was fuming, right? Still happy to talk, younger,
But he wasn't
angry,
happy.
definitely angry, right?
Yeah.
Can't control himself, right? He said, "Jackie Chan, you know, I don't care about anybody else." It was just strange coming from a youngster. Chan is the master. He's a legend. I went, "Okay, right, let's get in somewhere. Let's go, kid. What's your favorite Chan films?" The one with Chris Tucker.
Okay. But he's the master, yeah? Wow.
A legend.
No, with all that passion, you thought you'd have gone back a bit, wouldn't you?
You don't even know the name of the film. The one with Chris Tucker.
You didn't even know. And
The one with Chris Tucker.
And he probably hasn't even seen all three either. He probably
Anyway.
saw two and he thought it was one.
Yeah, I couldn't believe me ears. The one with Chris Tucker.
Wow.
Anyway, so that was a bit of a weird one. I said, "Rush Hour," yeah? He's like, "Yeah, that's the one." And the one where they look after the baby.
What, Robbie Hood?
Well, I mean, that's what I thought. I can't think of another baby one. Is there
That's
another
quite
one?
mad that he saw that one.
It was mad, but again, he didn't know the name of it. But yeah, I went, "Oh, that's a
that's a Hong Kong film, isn't it?" So
yeah, exactly. That's a real Chan, yeah.
It's quite random, these selections, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're really random. I think what's weird, they've got all the info in the world to find stuff out and they don't bother. I just don't get it.
It is strange. Now, I forgot to say something about Wheelchair Bloke.
Yeah.
Tariq told me that somebody told him that after we left there, he went with his mum around everywhere to look for where Chan was staying in hotels and all that stuff. Didn't give up all night.
What, in Oxford Circus?
Well, wherever he was trying to get intel and find out, well, where are they staying then? I didn't even think of that.
Well, how's he going to find that out?
Well, I don't know, but he's apparently he's walking around town going, "Right, well, where are they staying then? I'm going to find out." Who knows?
Bloody hell. That's a different level, isn't it? No,
Mum was thinking, "Can we go home now?" You know?
Yeah. It was getting
No choice version.
Well, maybe he's the Will Chad fan, mate.
Oh,
we accepted defeat, didn't we? We accepted defeat because obviously Tariq kind of left quite quickly. Obviously, I was like thinking, "Oh well, you know, he's not here now." So like, we're waiting around because obviously when we were waiting around, what was the time when? Can you remember what time Jackie waved through the glass window, behind the glass window?
Yeah, I don't remember the time. I've got the vid that I took, so we can watch that. But
I got a bit of that.
Yeah, I can't remember the time. By that time, the time didn't matter. It was just where is he?
Yeah, because obviously where I was standing, I couldn't even see that part. I just heard some noise, And
Yeah,
I
you
kind
got
of
done
looked
there.
around, and then obviously I couldn't. I was too far away from it, so I
Yeah.
didn't even see the wave.
The funny
Yeah.
thing is, every time I came to see you, it was this shot every
Yeah,
time, and I'd do this, and it was open. It was open, you know,
it
on the vid
was.
and
Because
on
obviously
the
I'm
vid
panicking,
screen,
thinking,
ready to
oh,
go.
he's going to appear, and I'm going to fumble and not press the wrong button, or or press the selfie button I'm not supposed to. So obviously I had it open because I was panicking. Yeah,
Burning the battery and everything
that's it.
non-stop. It was just this version.
Yeah,
Still waiting.
for over 2 hours. Yeah.
Exactly. Brilliant. Oh, so anyway, that was good. So look, the next bloke, so I can't believe that answer though, the one with Chris Tucker. Just told me that Chan's the man, that's what you're here for. You don't care about anyone else, and he's the master and he's a legend. It don't matter. The rush hour is bad enough.
He didn't
But
know the
that's your
film.
experience. You're younger, but the one with Chris Tucker? Well, I've
He
got to
didn't
get
even-
it. There's no
He
quiz
didn't even
here.
yeah, he didn't even know the title. That's bad.
Now,
That's
he was really angry, this bloke, right? So one of the BBC ladies walked past and she said, I'm ruining the story, but I'm on that bloke, so I'll do it. But she said, sorry, guys, he's left already. I let him out. She's saying this, and I know. This is why she said this. I
Yeah.
let him out some time ago, is what she said. Here's the
man.
answer. Yeah, well, we can stand wherever we want.
Ooh. Yeah, he's emotional. He's emotional and angry. Also, we don't know how
We
far he
understand.
left to go. We don't know how far he travelled, do we?
I'm the adult in this situation. So I went, well, hang on a minute. I said, listen, mate, I don't want to tell him off. I said, she's only trying to help. I said, no problem. Thanks very much for letting us know. You know, I kind of had to smooth it
Yeah.
over.
I
So
think a lot of
angry.
people. I think a lot of people were vexed. They weren't happy.
Yeah.
They weren't happy because obviously he done the wave, and we thought, okay, he's done the wave. Obviously, he's going to come out, and we're waiting and waiting, and people started getting a bit more tense, and we're waiting and waiting, and then the guy, when he took the reining, when he removed the reinings, and I knew it was over from there. Yeah. Because I asked one guy, because I think they weren't going to tell us, were they, directly? There's only one guy who whispered, he goes, oh, he's gone. He's gone already.
Yeah.
But a lot of them never keeping quiet. But the thing is, they knew he left whatever time. And they left us waiting there, didn't they?
Yeah.
Someone could have said, look, he's gone. They could have probably done that about 45 minutes ago.
100%. I mean, that's what that woman tried to do eventually, but then got told off by that kid, you know?
Yeah. Because, you know, why would you let them hang around there if you know he's gone? They could have just said, he's gone. I mean, look, Jackie could have just walked out. Look, he wasn't that far from the door, was he?
All right, it's okay, right. Look, I still had a crowd bloke to go, but
Okay.
Just hang on, because that bit, when we start chatting about that, you know, I'm probably going to get a bit annoyed. So hold on.
Okay.
Right, hold on. So the last bloke I'm going to chat about was another one of these, what did we call it? Socially awkward type blokes. I'm going to call him that, right?
Yeah.
He was there. He was waiting as well. And we were at the end of the left of the barriers. And we had a spot at the end there. The barrier just ended and there was nothing. And there was a bit of barrier. So between the three of us, we stood there and one stepped out. And we just had this spot, which was our spot. Because guess what? We're there for each other. We'd already made the agreement. Listen, if I'm getting something signed, then film it, vid it. If I turn round, I don't want a selfie. Take a photo for me, you know, and then obviously we'll do the same. Get in there, blah blah blah. Turn round and I'll take a proper photo.
We had a plan.
Yeah, we had it planned out, right? Because we were going to help each other out. This guy, they brought out another barrier, and what the bloke said was that you got to move back a bit, guys, because what I'm going to do is put a barrier in here and then cordon it off so that it didn't just end with a barrier. It ended with a barrier like this, so that there's nowhere else to go. In that sort of time, of course, we're going to move out the way as instructed, so he can put the barrier there. So we stepped back, and when we stepped back, this bloke stepped in the spot. Now, this was a bloke that we were chatting to. I certainly was. You know that, Rodney. I was chatting to him, being his mate and all that, giving it the chat. And then he stood in that spot. Now, I can't deny it. I didn't like that. I thought that was rude and
It was
disrespectful.
rude.
Is the truth.
Yeah, yeah,
And he just needs to calm down because he was young. I mean, he might have been watching Chan since he was a kid, but nowhere near as long. And it's not a competition, but that
Yeah.
was just not a very nice thing to do, the wrong thing to do.
But I think to each spoke to that guy. I think that guy just likes he goes to any celebrity place and gets selfies.
I know.
So he might not even really been a Chan fan.
I know.
He just likes doing selfie celebrities, doesn't he? He's not really
exactly.
Chan fan.
And this is what I
Yeah.
picked up from most of these blokes, which is why they are completely different to us. But this fella, I was, I'm a mature guy. You know, I can reason things out. And I just thought to myself, I said to him, I didn't back down. First off, I didn't want to be walked all over, right? That was the wrong thing to do. So I just said to him, and you can attest to it. I said to him, that was out of order, you doing that, taking that spot, taking advantage and taking that spot when we moved out of it. It's not the right thing to do that. And he just sort of stood there and just kind of shrugged his shoulders and just stayed in the spot.
Yeah.
And inside I went, all right, leave him to it. If it's that important to you, take it. I'll let him make that decision on whether that was the right thing to do or not.
Yeah.
And Tariq turns to me and says, hey, you think we can get our spot back? I went, well, you heard me. I tried already. And so he went, bro, you think we can get our spot back, please, bro? You know, we was there first.
Yeah.
Still didn't get it back.
Still didn't get that,
So,
no.
Leave him to it.
Yeah.
I walk off, go and stand next to this bloke called Craig, chatting to him on my left, and the wheelchair with his mum in that spot. This guy, half hour later or so, I mean, ages later, he walks over and says, yeah, you know, if you want the spot back, you know, you can have the spot back. And I went, I don't need the spot. I'm all good, right? And he said, no. He said, I was thinking what we could do is we could help each other out. I looked at him and went, I don't need your help and I don't need the spot. The spots are no one's actual spots. So you do whatever you want. I'm all good. The bloke next to me goes, peed you off, has he? And I went, no, he ain't done that. You don't get that. I said, but I just left him to brew in his own attitude, you know. It's up to him to decide.
Yeah, it's common courtesy. I think the guilt kicked in, didn't it? Yeah.
Took him a while. Both these blokes said to me, look, that guy don't want to be nasty, but you know, he's a bit quiet, a bit slow. You know, you can see he came round to his ways eventually. He's at all these events, all of them.
All of them. So that's what it is. He's celebrity. Yeah, he just likes to get photos.
And that means that they're at all of them as well. How do they know he's at all of them? Because they're also at all of them. I walk round to go and do the Chan 1 show bit. He comes round again and he says, listen, I'm okay. I don't need the spot. We can help each other. I thought now's the time to let him know. All right, respect. You know, you've learnt the area ways. And I said, it's all good, mate. Don't worry. It's all good. Don't worry about the spot. I'm fine. But he was annoying. His favourite films was Rush Hour and
a lot of Rush Hour today. There's a lot of Rush Hour. Which one?
A lot of Rush Hour. Well, the lady to the right of us had a Rush Hour DVD cover ready to sign. Remember?
Yeah. Yes, right.
So she had that out ready to go. So, and Karate Kid, bad one. That one, the first one.
Jaden Smith, one with Jaden Smith.
Yeah.
So that was his. Well, it
yeah.
seems like look, these weren't Chan fans, man. They were the celebrity fans. Just any celebrity that's in town.
Now, when you chat to them, that's right. The more I chatted to them, the more we found out. Right.
Yeah,
so they said to me, "Do you like Keanu Reeves? He's all right. Not really. I'm not bothered." Okay, well, in 2 days' time, he's doing one of these press events as well for Ballerina. All right, no worries. So if you want to meet him, you can come in 2 days' time.
Oh,
and I went, I'm good. I'm all good. Don't worry about it. And I said, how do you find out about these things? And he said, I've got it on my phone because I can't remember. It's Premier Events or premierevents.com. Put that in, something like that. Put that in, and that has all the events, this, that, and the other, and where you get the wristbands and all that. And I said to him, what about the one this morning? Was you at that? The Leicester Square? And he said, yes. Was that on this site? No. Anyway, so I don't know.
So what? Please don't tell me he got a photo with Jackie,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah. So did the bloke on the left. He said, I was there this morning. I've got a selfie with Chan. If he does come out, he was very much like, he ain't coming out. He ain't coming out. He was like that. He ain't coming out. I said, can you be a bit more positive? No, he ain't coming out. It was funny. But he said,
so he
I've already
knew
got a
and we
shot.
didn't. So he knew and we didn't.
Yeah, he knew. That bloke.
So were we slacking then or what?
Well, we know that someone thinks you definitely are. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Quite close to home
Right.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, he got smashed up at home for it. Yeah. So they all go to all of these things. And then the next one, and more than one person said this, was, what about Brad Pitt? Do you like Brad Pitt? It's like, no, look, yeah, he's all right, but I'm not bothered about Brad Pitt. I just really watch Kungs, mate. Don't worry about Pitt. He's all right. Why? Oh, because he's got an F1 film coming out, and there's also going to be a premiere for that, and we can get selfies and signatures. So that's what they are.
But there must be like a forum group for this as well.
Must be.
They must be.
They don't care about particular people. They care about everyone in films.
Just getting a selfie with any
selfie and signatures for anyone.
They're probably not even fans of them either.
No, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're not really there for Chan. They're there because there's such a thing as Karate Kid Legends, and the people that are in the film are here so they can get things signed. The guy next to me was showing me, I've got this signature on this one. I'm just missing this one. That's the chat.
Basically, this is quite a wind up because you got the room with people getting through, and we're obviously passionate fans here. We obviously went out of our way to meet Chan. Obviously, we watch these films all our lives, and then we got away through a glass window. Yeah, that's what we got.
This is what we got. Okay, this is the best we got. You can see I'm round the one show side with the barriers, and I'm filming with my phone trying to get Chan. After this, just so everybody knows, after this is being filmed live, he's being interviewed.
Yeah.
We're not even watching the interview. We're actually getting worse than people sitting at home. They're watching the interview, and we're standing outside.
We're outside. You know what? That's why you know on Facebook I can't go on at the moment because there's loads of one show posts, and the fact that I'm actually outside when that was being filmed.
Yeah,
I can't actually watch it, mate.
No. So there he is. No, I don't blame you. And
I can't watch it because I was outside.
Yeah. So we think that after this, by those barriers, he's going to come out. So we're waiting for this to end. I'm getting the best shots I can get. I mean, they're crap. Yeah. I know they're crap. This is the whole point. There you go. I've zoomed in. You can see she's having a chat, whatever.
Oh, you got that bit.
Yeah, ready?
There he is, I say, Jackie!
Coming. There he is. You see it, Rodney? Try it again.
So that's about 4 steps.
You see him waving there? Look.
Yeah, I see him waving, but he could have walked 3 steps and walked out for a little bit, just for 5 seconds.
So he waved and he did this version.
We would have got a nice video or photo.
Yeah. Now, Rodney's absolutely right. This is obviously shot this way. Just here, right? So this is shot this way. Just here, there's a bit in the middle, like a reception desk, and just here, there's actually that is a door. I'm not saying he could have opened it, but that is a door. But couple of steps, couple of meters this way, there's an open door. An open door.
Yeah, he could have just walked out. It's about 3 steps from him, wasn't it? It wasn't far. And he could have just waved for 5 seconds. Everyone would have got their photo or got to be, semi-near him. But no, we got away through the glass. Yeah, that's what we got.
I'm sorry. It's very, very, very disappointing to be. I know some people, a lot of people that, like Grant and that's gone, you got to see him. And I think Peter said words to the effect of that as well. He said, at least you got to see him in the flesh. I said, you know what? I kind of didn't. It was through glass.
Through glass. And the thing is, we thought that he might have waved, but we didn't think that was going to be it, did we? That's why we waited around again. We thought he was going to come out again, or if he was going to leave, he would go that way. So the wave, we thought, okay, he's waved, but we didn't think that was going to be it. And obviously, another hour passed, and we thought, hold up, it's getting a bit late now. I don't think he's coming out, is he? And obviously, the rumours started, and then someone said, oh, he's doing a radio interview in there or something. So obviously, the rumours started going around. And obviously, they're thinking, oh, yeah, we've got to have a reason to keep staying here. And then obviously, when that guy took the railings, I thought, oh, here we go.
That's the one, the railings.
Yeah.
You know what's even more annoying about that?
Yeah, because obviously we saw 3 cars come out. Now, obviously, deep down, we probably thought, well, that's probably him, but obviously we didn't know. But no one took the railings away, did they? Now, those 3 cars left, they could have taken those railings, couldn't they? But no, they left us there. That's what was annoying.
Why put the railings out?
If they're gone, yeah.
There's no intention.
No intention. Yeah.
Why? None of them. There's 3 people here. Look, we're not really mentioning the others because we ain't bothered, right? But those other people, they want Ralph, they want Ben Wang or whatever.
Yeah.
We're here for Chan, right? There's 3 others. Why none of them came out? As a matter of fact, just so people know, out of the 3, Chan was the best. Those other 2,
they didn't wave.
Nothing. They didn't come up to the glass and wave.
No, I don't think Ben did either. No, he didn't.
No.
Jackie was the only one that waved. Yeah. That's all. Yeah, he's the only one. He was crap, but he done the best out of all 3, didn't he?
Best of a bad bunch.
Yeah.
But there was worse. Now, didn't you say someone said that Macho looked deep into their eyes or something? Did you?
Yes. No. Some bloke. In fact, it was the guy that was it was the tense guy that was in the pub.
The ponytail red top bloke.
Yes, yeah. He said Chan looked into his eyes.
Oh, Chan!
He said Chan did. Well, I'm not being funny, mate, but Chan didn't look into your eyes because you just waved to a random crowd that he saw through a glass window. And he kept repeating it as well.
Oh, did he?
And I just thought, you know what? I think that started to mum me up a bit. It's like, no, he didn't look at your eyes, mate. And he was saying it quite loudly as well.
Well, obviously, yeah, you picked up on it, but you didn't want to shatter it for him, did you? You know?
No, I didn't. No, I listened to it, but I wasn't going to get involved in that anyway. So I was like, okay.
It's a bit like that Game of Death 2 screening when the dad and the son came out and said, I had to bring my son to watch a Bruce Lee film. You left that one, didn't you?
And then he was gutted that Bruce died in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I couldn't tell that bloke that no, Bruce is not really in it, but I thought I can't do it to him, mate. Yeah.
No. Yeah, you left that one as well. You know what to do and when, right? That's nice of you. I agree.
Yeah.
They were wicked, father and son. They were both brilliant.
Yeah. That's the fact. The fact that they actually were there was good enough. Now, regardless of whatever knowledge obviously he didn't know, the fact that he was there, he actually went with his son to watch that film. So I've got to respect that. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, listen. Some people might go, look, you it's great. You got to see Chan or whatever. It's better than nothing. Listen, when it's there, it goes back. How close is it? That glass door there isn't 20 meters away. It's a couple of meters. It's right there.
Yeah.
The other door that's open is right there. Come out, say thanks for coming, everyone. Hope you enjoy Karate Kid Legends. See you later. Listen, that would have annoyed me and all, but it's better than nothing. I mean, at least do that. Yeah. There's no one there hardly.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, he made more effort with a massive crowd. I mean, really, we were quite isolated, really. I mean, it wasn't that many people there. What, 30 people? I mean, look at the family with the kid there that was sitting down on the little seat. Yeah?
You brought that up after, didn't you?
Yeah, he had stuff in his hand to sign, and he looked devastated.
How old was that kid, you reckon? 6, 7, 8, maybe?
About 7 or 8 years old, yeah.
Young, wasn't he?
Yeah. He was gutted. The whole family was. Yeah. And obviously, when Jackie left, they were like, like some people, they didn't go straight away. Because they were just thinking in hope, really, he couldn't have gone. No, he's gone. I mean, I was going to head out of there, and obviously he said, oh, no, wait a bit. And then he said, no, wait a bit. He's not gone yet. There's another car over there. There's a posh car over there, so he's not gone yet. No, he's gone there.
That's right. Well, one of the guards actually said, I said, what about Chan? Is he coming out? And he went, not yet. Not yet? He's in there then. Because he did leave after the others, I think.
I think he did, yeah. So yeah, it was it was painful, man.
It's
But look, we
too.
tried. Look, we tried, didn't it? We
I know.
tried.
I know.
We
But these
tried.
opportunities are very few and far between.
Yeah, yeah,
He must know that. I don't know. He don't know who's outside. He didn't, you know what? He didn't even look. He didn't even check. I mean, he did. He looked through the window. I actually think his face did look a little bit like, in my opinion, his face was a little bit, he weren't looking in my eyes, obviously, but
yeah,
his face was definitely as if said, you know, I kind of feel bad about this. But how
yeah.
long do you reckon it would have taken him to sign some things and have a shot? All of us.
Yeah, it wouldn't be. It would have been long. 6
Well, you
seconds
know,
of his
15
time.
minutes, maybe at the most,
Yeah,
10, 15 minutes. It's
yeah.
not hardly anyone there.
Yeah, because the thing is, you might as well not even put the ratings up then. You might as well
Why
say,
put 'em
"Oh,
up?
why put them up? Why leave us there for 2.5 hours? Well, 2.5 hours we might have been there.
Yep.
Why? If they
I
weren't, he
know.
weren't going to come out. He could have just popped out, man. 5 seconds is enough time.
It's
It's
it.
just yeah, it's gutted.
That's why it's annoying. I
Gutted.
appreciate that people might go, "Oh, you know, what are you on about? At least you saw him." It's like, no, it was too close. It
Too
was too
close.
close to do it, you know, and it just
Yeah,
it didn't happen.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
understand it. It could have made people's dreams, made people's days,
yeah.
whatever it is, just by popping out,
Just
saying
popping
hello,
out.
signing some stuff.
No.
You know, this guy next to me said, "Oh, if he comes out, he's quite good." He did it this morning. I got a selfie with him this morning and all that. He's standing there with the Karate Kid legends. It don't listen. It sounds a bit bitter, but
Yeah, but the thing is, we
you've
weren't
been
asking to go
waiting.
out. Yeah, we weren't asking to go out and do forms, were we? No. Right? All you had to do is just walk out and wave and say thanks for coming, and that's it. We would have got our pictures, we'd have got our video footage. The fact that we were actually near the legend, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know,
that's right.
and then we got a wave behind a glass. I just thought, wow, I know it was rubbish. It was rubbish, mate.
You're only annoyed about it because of what we think of the bloke and how
Yes,
close
I'm
it
saying
came to happening.
it came to happen, yeah. And the fact that he actually made the effort earlier in the day. There was
Yeah,
more people there. More
loads.
people. Yeah,
So what happened? He went down the line, oh, sign this and take shots and sign.
yeah. And you got less people. It was kind of more controlled. It wasn't that manic, really. And he just waved behind the glass. I thought, what? Disappointing, man. Yeah, I was gutted,
Definitely.
mate. Yeah,
Yeah, same.
I
Yeah.
I was vexed, mate. I was
There you go. The truth comes out. Yeah.
I was not happy at all, mate. No. And obviously, I started getting the texts, didn't I? Oh, did you meet him then?
Oh no. Yeah, me
Oh,
too. Yeah. Yeah.
I was getting the texts when I. So obviously, I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be texting back, going, "Yeah." I'm supposed to be sending a pic or video that me. No, I've got a wave behind a glass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All I got from today was no battery on my phone. That's it. Phone run out of battery. That was it. Nothing else.
yeah. That's
Crap,
what I got.
man.
Yeah. So obviously, I told the missus, she's like, she went, "Oh no!" Even my missus went, "Oh no!"
Yeah, of course.
And then my
Yeah.
sister goes, "Oh no!" She actually goes, I feel bad for you, buddy," because they knew. Obviously, I was panicking, innit? Because obviously, I was
Anyone that
messaging. Yeah,
knows.
because I messaged them while I was panicking, waiting for him. Yeah, and they were kind of laughing. I say, "Look, I'm probably gonna drop my phone in a second if you popped out." I was telling them, and they were just obviously
Yeah.
laughing because they know my passion in it. Obviously, when I said, "Look, no, I only got away for the glass," they were like, "Oh no, I'd actually feel bad for you." But yeah, they said it. That's my sisters,
Yep.
mate. You know what I mean?
Same. Anyone that
Yeah,
truly knows why we were there and what we were trying to
right.
achieve does actually feel,
Mm,
sorry for us or
yeah.
whatever.
Well, in fact, well, my other sister, I think the way I might have worded it, I think she did laugh, and then she felt guilty.
Right.
I think she felt guilty. I think the way I might have responded, not in a laughing manner. I think she goes like, "Oh, I feel bad for laughing now." I think
Yeah.
I might have worded it in a funny way, and then yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah,
yeah, she knew eventually. It's like, nah, you know
you
what? This ain't
eventually,
funny because
yeah,
I know what it means to him, you know?
yeah, they know, yeah. So
I know it sounds a bit fanboy and a bit childish and immature and everything, but anyone that knows, we don't need to explain it to you because you know.
let's explain, yeah, because I wouldn't have left.
Tarek walks away with the whitest face I've ever seen. I mean, I said he was tired, but
No,
he didn't,
no,
he said bye, but
he
he
wasn't happy,
looked
mate. No, he
annoyed to
wasn't.
me.
He did, yeah, he did, he
And
did.
he got the earlier bit. He got the bit of the Leicester Square bit,
Yeah.
calling Jackie's name and him turning round, and he got
Yeah.
he got more.
He got more, but I think because I think they knew he left and they just left us there. I think that was the wind up. They knew he went and they could have just told us, innit? But no, let's keep us hanging on in there, hanging on, and he's already gone.
Little kid.
And then when that lady said, and then when that woman walked out and she blatantly said, "Oh, he left ages ago," and she said it with a smug voice, didn't she? I thought, nah, I thought, I got to go now. Mate.
That's what it was like. Yeah, he's right.
Yeah.
There was a few women, they work in there or whatever, and they came out the same entrance, saw us waiting there. It's like, oh, he's went ages ago. It's like that. Like, idiot, still waiting here. He went ages ago. It was.
Yeah, but why say it if he's gone? Yeah, why say it?
Maybe they're doing us a favour, letting us know so that we can go. I don't know.
No, but I think is we knew when she said that, we already knew he went. But she had to throw that in, didn't she?
Yeah, she did, yeah.
Yeah, she quite enjoyed saying that as well. She's smiling and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell. I don't know.
I did the good joke on her, didn't I? I said it's all right, we're waiting for you.
Yeah, you did, yeah. You did, yeah.
Brilliant.
Look, Jackie's still a legend. I was just a bit disappointed. Yeah, this ain't no slander for Jackie. I was just a bit disappointed that he could have just stepped out and just said, he just acknowledged us for like that, 5 seconds at least. He waved,
I mean, I'm a little bit annoyed with him.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I'm not gonna be like not gonna watch his films. You know what I mean? I'm not on that level. But I'm just saying.
No,
yeah, he could have waved coming behind, walking nearer to us, not behind the glass. That was rubbish. It was, yeah.
Let's have another look at it, right? Because this is all we've got. This is all we've got. Glass Chan. At least it's not just
Glass
the quality of
Chan.
your prints.
Yeah. Glass Story. That's what we got.
That's it. Yeah. Glass Story. That's the one.
That's what we got. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what we should call it.
Yeah.
Good name for the potters.
Yeah, Glass Story.
Oh my God.
Oh dear. Got laugh for the pain, mate. Obviously, I'm on the left side, so I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
I didn't even see it.
What about those people walking past?
Yeah, as if
Walking
it was nothing.
past, Chan is there, and they're just walking past.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to get my train. Look, I'm going to get my train. Chan's there though.
But they probably see this every week, don't they?
Not Jackie Chan, they don't.
Not
But
Jackie
yeah,
Chan, they don't. No.
there'll be people. Yeah. Even that presenter, Alex Jones, when me and Dre went round to film the cars coming out, because what we thought was if he ain't left yet, that he might at least open the window and wave out the car.
Yeah.
This presenter, Alex Jones, the lady who presents that one show, who interviewed him, I guess because I've not watched it, she was there getting in the car, leaving, and waved. And we waved back. She waved. And we looked at each other and was like, what? Respect. Because the truth is, there's people waiting here. She don't know whether they're for her or not. And, I didn't do, all I did was go, brilliant, and waved back. So she managed it.
I didn't know that. So she waved.
Yeah. I tell you, Paul Dre's got a vid of it. I didn't have my camera going on that. He's got a vid of that.
Okay.
So there's real.
Jackie probably waved behind the glass in the car, didn't he? With the glass window in the motor, mate.
Exactly.
So he might have done
Alex
double
Jones,
wave.
respect to her for that.
Yeah.
Real flesh, no glass.
Yeah, could have been double waves with Jackie behind the glass, mate. Yeah, man. Glass Story, mate. Yeah, that's what you should call it.
Flipping heck, man. So there you go. What's the drink, by the way? What's that? A cup of tea or something?
No, it's just coffee, mate.
Oh, coffee.
Yeah.
Because I've got staying up late.
Yeah, that's what it is, mate. So, the Ribena is on hold at the moment.
That's what I was going to say. No Ribena this time, but I understand because it's late at night and you're doing this after work. which
So I thought,
obviously I
water instead, mate. Yeah.
yes, mate, I appreciate it. Look, Rodney, I don't know if you've got anything more to say about this. I am going to let you close it and give me your final thoughts on how you feel about the whole thing. Just give me some
Look,
chats.
I'm going to say, look, we tried. Okay, the day was stressful as it was. Jackie was in town. We didn't have enough time, enough info, but we had the opportunity to go. We did it. We hanged around. We had hope, and then we got disappointed. That's all I can say. Gutted, mate. Yeah, we're all gutted.
Yeah.
And this is true fans here. Yeah, this is Shining Wooden Men fans here. Yeah,
Yes.
Not Spy Next Door or Rush Hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is real Kung fans here, mate. And then we got disappointed, but we tried, didn't it? That's all we could do. We tried.
100%. I don't regret it. Obviously, I don't regret it. It's the closest we've ever got.
Closest we've ever got.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to hold out hope for more and other opportunities. I'm not just going to give up.
Yeah, because he might make up for it, mate.
He might do.
Yeah. He might do. It'd be nice if he did.
Yeah.
But all we could do is hope, innit?
I mean, look, what I had there, right? I showed you the shots I had, right? Toby was so kind, and thank you, Toby. I'll say that to you now if you are watching. He gave me these little black and white pictures. One was Shaolin Wooden Men, and he had them signed by Chanji Hua. Obviously I told him when he gave them in the flesh, but he knows what this stuff means. I was so open to get Chan's signature on one of them as well.
On one at least, yeah.
That would have been amazing. Director and star, flipping amazing.
But you got a wave though, didn't you? Yeah.
Oh yeah, through glass, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you go. Thank you, Tariq, for getting down there. Thanks for supplying that footage and allowing us to use it and view it and watch it. Tariq, the Kung Fu Kid on Instas.
Right.
I'm sure we'll be happy to chat to you about all this and all. But there you go. So we'll leave it there then, Rodney.
We'll leave it there, mate.
Yeah, I've got nothing more to add to it. It was very disappointing, and we did our best. We waited around. We didn't leave early. We didn't leave and then miss him or whatever. We tried our best to see him.
We tried our best
while he was in London.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. But hopefully, if we get another chance,
exactly. On to the next one. Come on, Chan. Make it up to us. That was a close one, man. That was a close
one. Well, he has got a few films coming out, hasn't he? So, he's got about two new films coming out. So hopefully, he might come here for that. Yeah. So.
Well, that's it. Fingers crossed, isn't it?
Fingers crossed, man. Hope for it. Try and make it into a positive, mate. Hopefully. Yeah.
That's it. And Dre driving all that way down, having to park somewhere.
Oh no!
I mean, he got done as well. Yeah, but again, he tried, and I'm not saying he's happy about it, but he has sort of messaged to sort of go that he's got something from it, which is fair enough.
Yeah, the back of Jackie's head. Yeah,
that's the real truth of it. Sorry,
it's the truth, mate.
That's what we do here.
Yeah,
we do truth myths. That's it. Yeah,
yeah.
We ain't changing now. We ain't changing because it's chat. That's it. That's why we done this chat. We just want to let people know what happened. There'll be a lot of people that would have seen what's gone on. They would have been disappointed by the Leicester Square bit. They might have even found out that there was a bit later on with the one show because they knew he was on the one show because he was on television. Just to let you know, that's as best as you got. For people that didn't go, that went, damn it, I should have got down there. I could have met Chan. That's what happened.
Because on the day, man, we knew it was on them. We tried. Yeah. That shows the level we're on, right? We tried. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Brilliant. Thanks, Rodney, for your time. I appreciate it as usual.
All good. Respect.
Yes, respects, and I'll see you soon, mate. Listen, thanks a lot, mate. And I loved. You know what? No matter what, I really enjoyed that day, even though it was disappointing because of that. I still got to hang out with you and Tariq and all that. And Dre came down. Man. He was wicked. Yeah. So still
bedroom business. Bedroom business. You know how it goes. Yeah.
I do. But again, listen, thanks a lot, mate, for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Always, Steve. Yeah. Always. Yeah.
Yes, mate. Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant. You know what? Wicked bloke. All right. Thanks, man. See you later.
Respect, mate.
Take it easy, mate. See you later. Bye.